we them ninjas, yeah. Chop it up like a blender, quick, fast, cut your grass, yeah. Chop it up like a blender, quick, fast, cut your grass, yeah. Chop it up like a blender. Saving green, be the team, we gon' pull up on the scene. Cut your grass by any means. It started out as just a dream, like Biggie. Now we the best in the city, like Biggie. Now we the best in the city. Pull up.
Good morning, ninjas. Good morning on this beautiful Pump Monday. Hope all you ninjas had a great weekend. Hope everyone has a good and safe Pump Monday. I am at my next property, which is this little duplex right here. Nothing to it, but it is pretty tall enough for the owner to actually reach out to me and be like, "Big Nick, when are you gonna be mowing the grass? It's looking pretty tall." I was like, "Sir, I'll be right there." I actually should have been here this last weekend, but I didn't make it, so now I am here today. Anyway, the grass has been growing like crazy just about every freaking yard that I'm at. Some of it is really tall because you know, I've been playing catch up, I've been behind, so you know, some of them I'm about 2.5 to 3 weeks before I show up, and the ones that are on schedule and I am able to keep up with, it's still pretty freaking tall. Like, it's growing like crazy, and I've never seen grass grow this much in August, but with all the rain that we've had a few weeks ago, I can understand why. Make sure you're charging accordingly on this stuff, especially, and keep a close eye on everything that's going around the world right now and how everything is starting to get expensive. I know guys who cut grass for the same price that they did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, okay? And I used to know some that did it, and finally they adjusted it. But there's a lot of us out there who just, they think that's just what it is. So if you start with a $40 yard, they just think that that's what that yard is. And it doesn't really matter if your fuel cost goes up. It doesn't matter if your cost of living goes up. It's just a $40 a yard. Now look, obviously you're never going to be able to charge a $40 yard and get maybe $100 out of it. Well, we don't know, right? We don't know how the economy will be. Maybe 10 years from now, you might be. I don't know. But you definitely don't want to be cutting a $40 yard or a $30 yard, whatever, for 10 years in a row. So I have been adjusting my prices every couple of years. Now, some of my customers that I feel comfortable at, they're kind of like grandfathered in, and well, they have been at least for all these years, and I never really changed the price on them. But believe it or not, that's about to change. I know there's a lot of my customers actually watching me and supporting me and watching the videos. So for those who are watching, just please understand where I'm coming from. Cost of living is going up and everything is just insane. Here's just a small little example. So first of all, if you don't have a PO box, you need to go ahead and open a PO box, okay? You want to have a PO box for your business address. Any customers that mail you checks, or you know, any commercials that mail you checks, you want them to go to your PO box. You don't want it to go to your personal address because, one, it looks more professional. Two, that way it doesn't get mixed in or lost or anything like that with your other mail. And but just an example, I just got my PO box bill because you know, you have to pay for it every year. Well, you have a choice. You can do it 6 months or a year. I just do it once a year, so that way I don't have to think about it. But when I opened that PO box, I think I was paying like 120 to 140, probably closer to that 120 for the whole year. Okay, I just got an email that my PO box payment is due by the end of this month, and it was like almost $210. So it's gone up. Everything has been going up. The fuel is outrageous already. I mean, the fuel cost, and I know it's probably way more in other places, but here it's $3 for diesel, and even regular gas is like $3, $2.89, $2.90. So everything's just going up. So what I'm trying to say is, don't get stuck or fall behind. You should not be eating that difference. You shouldn't be losing money and still doing this work for the same price that you did 5-10 years ago. Everything has to go up. It's inflation. Everything has to go up. Services cost. I guarantee if you call an electrician or a plumber right now, the prices are going to be different than what they were 5-10 years ago. So why is lawn care not considered? Why are lawn care guys so afraid to change their prices? I don't understand. And I do understand in a way, because I used to be that guy in the beginning, but man, I caught on quickly. You can't be doing this for 10 years for the same $40-50 price. And if you are, you're behind, and you may not realize it at that point, but over time you'll realize that your $40-50 doesn't stretch as far as it used to. So just remember that, okay? You just look at your area. Every area is different. Some of us may be still able to do yards that they did 3, 4, 5 years ago for the same price, because maybe the cost of living is not as bad. And I know in my area, it's probably nowhere near as bad as some of the other places like up northeast or out west, you know, but just, you get the point. Not just the cost of living is going up, it's costing you more also just to run your business. When I'm having a hard time finding employees, means it's costing me more to run my business. It's affecting me. And you know how it's affecting me? I can't get to all the jobs that I normally would. So I'm losing money on that. So, you know, I think the difference is we all sometimes we're like, oh, we got to take on more accounts. We got to offer more services. We got to grow. And that's fine. You want to grow. But instead of taking on more accounts, why not just charge more for the things that you do? Steadily, right? Over the course of time. And if you keep up with it, you'll be fine. All right, ninjas. Just finished with the front. I gotta touch up a little bit through here. This is a new property that I looked at about a week and a half ago. And the customer wants all those holly bushes completely cut up, you know, removed. But we don't have to dig them out. I just got to take a chainsaw and cut them and throw them over the fence. But I'm not going to do that today because I don't think I have enough time. I did finish mowing. Unfortunately, back here I got to use the 36 because the 52 will not fit in the gate. But the main project today, besides the mowing, is all this ivy. So he wants all this ivy completely cut down. So this is a project. I'm going to set you ninjas up once I finish doing my regular trimming. And when I get started, I told him that this, you know, if you want it completely gone, we need to go ahead and just completely trim it down to the ground, and probably more than once. So today is going to be the official, and then we'll see what next week and the week after looks like, and I may have to touch it up some more before it completely dies down. So anytime you're doing something like this that's really overgrown, hard to see, two things. One, keep your freaking eyes open. Okay, do not get distracted. Watch where you step and keep a lookout, especially when you see holes freaking everywhere. All right, that's number one. Number two, keep this weed eater in front of you at all time. Not just because you're using it to trim all this stuff down, but this is your weapon. If I stumble upon a snake in here, that sucker is getting cut in probably 36 pieces. Okay? Because I'm not playing. I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's a cute little snake. No, I don't think so. There's a snake in here. If it's not dead already and it ends up deciding to show up, it's gonna be dead. So that's number two. So made pretty good progress. Not too bad. I was almost honestly expecting a lot of this stuff to catch to my weed eater head and tangle up, but it's not. It's actually doing really good. And the Echo 2620T, it's got to be the T, SRM. It's got plenty of power. I was actually considering grabbing the 3020 because it's a little bit stronger and heavier and bigger, but I went ahead and grabbed this, and it's doing fine. That's all she wrote. Cleaned up pretty nice. Not too bad. They just purchased this house, so this is one of my oldest customers, and they sold the other house that I used to maintain, and they moved here and called me to help them out again. All right, ninjas, so this is probably the last yard of the day. You can see the grass is pretty tall, and this is the one where I got to touch up all these shrubs. There's just a couple of small ones through here, and then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bigger ones. That one on the corner is like the biggest. And then I got, the grass is not really too bad through here. And they're not terribly bad, but they definitely need to be touched. They need to be touched. But yeah, got my Milwaukee pull saw, got the extra battery out here. right, ninjas, all the shrubs are trimmed. Went ahead and raked everything out and blew everything off. Got it out here, and now all that's left is to mow, trim, and then, you know, finalize the blow with the blow off, final blow off. And the stuff that I got all out here, I'm just gonna mulch it. Even though the ZTX doesn't have a mulch kit on it, I don't have any kind of shoot blocker, at least for now, but it should still do just fine. May have to make a couple of extra passes on there, but that's okay. So what I normally do when I get done with like stuff like this and I rake everything out, I'll walk around, and if I see stuff that's a little bit thicker, then I will go ahead and pick it up and throw it into the woods, because one, it's not going to mulch up right, and two, I don't really want to damage my blades. Needless to say, I do need to sharpen my blades. I think all this looks okay. I do need to sharpen my blades. I need to sharpen them on the ZXT and the ZK. You can see it's getting dark. I had a feeling this was going to be the last job of the day. For those of you that don't know, if you happen to be new to the channel, this property, when I started my business 12, 13 years ago, I started throwing out flyers everywhere. And this is the very first house that called me. So this is the very first yard that started my career as a lawn care landscaper. Here, some of these bigger ones, you see what I mean? No way. This stuff is okay.
Green be the team, we gon' pull up on the scene. Cut your grass by any means. It started out as just a dream. Like Biggie, now we the best in the city. Like Biggie, now we the best in the city. Pull up, pull up, pull up, save it green.